kiss and hug me. Come on strong, go on and love me. Let's not waste that big old moon. Wake up and smell the perfume. Just say if you want to be more than friends.
Yeah, Eye Contact was a great gig for me. It was really a super chance to do a lot of different things. First of all, I got my job at Eye Contact through LinkedIn. The CEO actually contacted me through LinkedIn, so that was kind of the start of my social media chops, if you will. And that was back in Durham, North Carolina. And at the time I joined, I was employee 27, and they had about $2 million in sales. By the time I left the company, it was a little over, I believe, $85 million in sales. And at that time, we had 350 employees. And then the following year, they were bought by Vocus for about $180 million. So we had a lot of fun with it. It was, we built the communications departments, and we started a lot of cool initiatives and grew as a company, going from 27 employees to 50 to 150. I mean, it just kept growing as we went. The founders were young guys and still are young guys, but at the time, the CEO was 20 and his co-founder was, I believe, 24, if I get those numbers right. And really had a good feel for the product that they were offering to the folks, and we did some really neat things out there.
That's incredible on several levels. I mean, I'm thinking 2 million sounded good, and what did you say they went up to when you left? 180 million, or no?
Yeah, they were sold at $180 million.
Wow, that not bad chunk of change there.
Yeah.
And you're part of that growth. You're part of what Eye Contact became, and
I love
20-year-old genius, innovative.
Indeed.
That's excellent. Now, you've written a book. Can you tell us a little bit about your book?
It's called Linking In to Pay It Forward, Changing the Value Proposition of Social Media. And there's a wide variety of things that go along with that title, but mainly it's talking about how you can be of service to others and how that will make a difference in how you approach someone that you're going to be engaging with on social media. So a lot of, and we'll get into the Pay It Forward philosophy, which is a big part of what I do. And it was just a chance for folks who were coming to me and saying, okay, so tell me stories, tell me how this is going. How did you work with LinkedIn? How does it work for you? So I decided to write a book, and I actually blogged the first 6 chapters online on my blog. And the reason I did that, a variety of reasons. One is to let folks know that it's a work in progress. But the other part of it is, quite frankly, I'm somewhat of a I don't know. I have a tendency to kind of drag my heels every once in a while to get things done. So this was a nice way to have the community say, okay, chapter 5's done. When's chapter 6 coming up? So we've got a chance to do that. And it came out about a couple years ago, and it's done fairly well. And enjoying sharing it with other people. And when I give speeches, I usually get a chance to include the book as well.
Excellent. It's kind of accountability as far as you've got your readers just waiting for that next piece.
I hope they were waiting for it. I'm not positive on that, but I sure like to think they were.
Hey, that works. That works. Whatever gets us motivated to actually sit down and write. I find it takes more work to think about writing than actually to sit down and do the writing.
Oh, yeah. I agree with you there. Yeah, I've got another one outlined in my head. I've got one written out in my journal, and they are sitting there right now with, as life gets in the way, basically. But there's others coming.
Yeah, I think I have 6 books, and I don't know which one I'd say I'm writing the most, but they kind of float around. One of these days I'll finish at least one of them.
Yes, I hear you.
Now, we were talking before the interview about some really cool stories that you shared with me, and I would love to have you share that with the audience. Very inspiring.
Well, first of all, when my wife and I went through the dot-com bubble burst, we had a consultancy back in 1999, and then 2000 was going very well. Then the dot-com bubble burst hit. So we basically lost everything. We went from homeowners in Southern California to renters to now what are we going to do, and all the way to the point of food stamps, quite frankly. And that's where the Pay It Forward philosophy really was born for us, because there were people that came forward and just, there would be groceries on our doorstep, and where we didn't think we were going to have groceries for the week. And we talked to different people who had either donated or helped, and they said, don't worry about paying us back, just pay it forward. And so that's really one of the areas that made the difference. So that allowed us to relocate to North Carolina and start over again, and that's where iContact came in as well. So I could tell you the Starbucks story. Would you like that one?
I would love to hear the story. That is so inspiring. I mean, I think you actually, I'm a chatterbox. You actually got me quiet on that story. It's just so moving.
Oh, I had a lot of fun with that. Well, like I said, I'm a Pay It Forward philosopher. There's no doubt about it. And actually, if you were to talk to people online and ask them who I am, that's probably the first thing they would say. But I truly believe that Pay It Forward is a very simple habit. You already know how to return a favor, so you're halfway there. So instead of returning that favor, you help somebody else and move forward. So I was in line at a Starbucks, and I'm a Starbucks nut, and they're at least on a daily basis, if not twice a day. And I was in a great mood, and a lady in front of me is on a cell phone, and she's just rushed and upset and not happy. And I looked up and looked at the barista that I know, and I said, "Look, this coffee's on me." And she turned around very startled and said, "Well, no, I said, "No, you just pay it forward. Next time you see somebody, just pay it forward and pay for somebody else's coffee." Fast forward about 2 weeks, and I'm rushed and trying to get to work and do whatever, and I'm in a Starbucks again, and I hear somebody say, and his coffee's on me. And I turn around, and it was the lady that I had paid for the coffee with for 2 weeks ago. So it's nice to see the seeds are planted and see the work work very well. My wife and I are heavy advocates when it comes to service, and that means whether it be ambulance drivers or policemen or servicemen or women, whoever it may be, we actually search out for those folks, pay for dinners for them, pay for coffee, whatever, because we believe that what they're doing is something that we couldn't possibly do, and we're safe because of them. So it's a lot of fun to be able to do that and just say thank you. It's a really cool way.
I think you nailed it. As far as it is a lot of fun. It's a really fulfilling. I mean, it's not a matter of just giving. You actually are receiving something, that feel good feeling of giving and paying it forward. I like that approach.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Don't you want to kiss and hug me? Come on, strong, go on and love me. Let's not waste that big old moon. Wake up and smell the perfume. Just say if you want to be more than friends. Got some love I'd like to make. Baby, you can squeeze me, I won't break. We could be in a paradise, you and me. Until then, I'll remind you again. Just say when. Oh yeah, until then, I'll remind you again. Just say when. Oh baby, just say when.